Ironically, I had to shoot this introduction to the video you're about to watch because, here I was talking about getting to know your camera, and somehow I had managed to turn off face detection and continuous autofocus and not fix it. After I saw the video, I was a little shocked by that. However, uh, I don't think I can reproduce exactly what I said because, like most of my videos, they are pretty much off the cuff and not scripted. So instead, you're going to have to put up with a little fuzzier version of me for the rest of this video. Hi there. Yesterday was Thanksgiving in Canada, or Harvest Thanksgiving, as my mother always called it. Aptly named, of course. Today I'm cleanup detail. However, just a few words about photography. In this particular time, I'm finding that I'm taking a lot of people pictures because, of course, family get-togethers. This is probably the best opportunity I have right now to do some photography. Outside today is a wonderfully misty day, so I will take, as soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to go take a little run down to the side of the Petitcodiac River and hopefully get some nice shots of the rising mist. Anyhow, if I do, you'll see them at the end of this video. I'm not saying much today. I mean, I've talked a lot about gear in the last few times, and basically gear is something that I'm really trying to separate myself from. About the only gear I'm interested in sometimes is a lens that will give me something I didn't have before. As I said in an earlier video, that was the nice thing about the Sony NEX6 that I got from my son. It came with a macro lens, and I don't have a true macro lens. Right now I'm using my Olympus, as I usually do for my videos. I tried the Sony for a bit, but it's a learning curve. I mean, when you understand the camera and when you understand how a camera functions, it doesn't matter if another camera might be able to do a better job if you really don't understand how to use it. And I think that's the big thing I'd like to mention today. Too many people get hung up on specs. I mean, the specifications of a camera, yes, they're important to a certain degree. How many megapixels you have can be of some importance. But for most of us, if you have a camera of 12 megapixel or higher, and you're doing what I would call general photography, the ergonomics of the camera is far more important than the specifications. And pretty much that's what I'm looking at more and more all the time. Being a former Pentax user, ergonomics has always been a big deal to me. Pentax cameras were, especially the K-series cameras, were extremely well designed. Everything was exactly where you would hope it would be. My Olympus cameras are, well, maybe not quite so well thought out in some areas, but still very, very good. Things like the control wheels and so on are in logical places that are easy to get to. As a result, I've really gotten to know these cameras and really gotten to like them. The Sony, I'm still on the steep part of the learning curve. More and more I'm using it and trying out the different features, and I'm finding that the ergonomics are not great, but they are different. And I think that's the thing. It's not a case of one being better than the other. It's just a case of being different. Now, I know people will argue that you need lots of function buttons and you need lots of customizability and so on. And all that, I'm sure, is true for a lot of people. But for many of us, having a camera that right out of the box makes sense is probably the best way to go. Could I go back to a true entry-level camera now with minimal controls and a lot of menu diving? I wouldn't want to. I'm not saying I couldn't, I'm just saying I wouldn't want to. I like the fact that now I have cameras that have a high degree of personalization. I won't call it customization, I'll call it personalization. I can set up the camera to work for me. So guys, when you're looking at a camera, here's where camera stores, and why we should keep camera stores alive. Camera stores allow you to go in and pick them up and handle them and see where the buttons are and see how it feels in your hand and all the things that are far more important than how many megapixels it has. I don't need 60 megapixels, but I do need a nice hand grip. I don't need, 16 stops of dynamic range, but I do need the buttons to be somewhere where I can reach them. I don't need 8K video, but I do need to know that things like my camera card are easily accessed and my battery is easy to change. In other words, the function of the camera, the use of the camera is far more important than the minutia of how sharp it might be. Well, anyhow, guys, as I said, if I get any good images today when on my walk, they will be at the end of this video. I know this has been very brief and not terribly informative, but I hope it gets you thinking about any camera purchases you might be considering in future. Brand loyalty is simply loyalty to somebody else making money. Instead of brand loyalty, what you need to have is personal loyalty. You need to be loyal to yourself. You need to pick something that works for you, not because somebody else said you should have it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. If you'd like to see more of my videos, of course, subscribe to this channel. And if you think anybody may need a little pep talk on this particular topic, then by all means, share this video. Well, bye for now.